Hi everybody, so this is just a quick review of a question and its answer on Lecture 8. So this is from, let's just select a pen. This is from Lecture 8, page 2. So this is just a screenshot of some of it. And in Lecture 8 we started talking about a reverse yield gap or a yield gap, which is where we are comparing what the market is giving us in terms of the yield, the gross redemption yield on government bonds with a running yield on equities, and we end up with an equation which allows us to compute what we think the difference in these yields should be and compare them to what the market actually says these yields are, and then we can take a view as to what we invest in as a result. Anyway, once we get to page 2, we're not comparing equities with government bonds anymore. We're comparing government bonds with property, with initial rental yields as it happens. So when you work through the maths, you end up with this equation here. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, this stuff on the right hand side here all this stuff here, this is what we expect. Let's just make sure that's all written in. What we expect. So these are things that perhaps we've calculated or we've taken a view on. And maybe our result here comes out to be, I don't know, something like minus 0.3. And this thing on the left hand side, well, this is what we actually take from the market. So if you like, these are facts from the market. Okay, and perhaps that comes out to be a different number, and I'll say it's plus 0.5. In fact, these should have zeros in them, probably to make them more realistic. 0.05, and give this 0.03, something like that. Okay, so these things are different. So if you like, this thing on the right hand side has come out to be small and negative, this minus 0.03. We would expect this to also come out to be minus 0.03, but instead it's 0.05. So how could this happen? Well, it could be that we think well, not that we think, it's actually true. It's that this initial rental yield is bigger than we expect. So the writing on this thing's a bit slow today. Initial rental yield is greater than we expect. So we're getting more money than we expect from property. This stuff on the right hand side is what we expect. This is the truth. Or you could argue it's the other way around. Bonds aren't giving us as much as we expect. This gross redemption yield is smaller than we expect. Either way, what it means is that property is looking more attractive than bonds compared to what we expect. So the market has what we think is some kind of distortion in it. Really, rental yields should be lower. Actually, they're higher. Actually, you are currently getting more from property than we think you should. And so as a result, we think that we should switch into property, which is what it says down here. Switch into property and out of government bonds to take advantage of this difference.